Mwakwaba, meda sese wo sha Adom TV, Premotobre Kasee afen semno enchiremu ankasa eni. Odro bani a ochi sprinter boss ibi onye mfie aduasa ensia ya obusua ene ne wakohia ne nkwanhia wo wa Pam Junction ni nyina ne ye Toyota Land Cruiser ne number GN 3181-17 abono Adom Kasee etwaso.
Egi na ye speed ramps. Actually, yeah, then car, what about my men, and me pay down care by any way, Chanapa. But a Chanapa, you knew Missima at the full floor business. And tea, the actually, and Hondo, the Mabri, the speed ramps. We don't care. Mobesibia, you good area. You good area. And tea, ya start ya could be temporal. Yame Adoma, a good area, the second one. And tea, Yame Adoma say, a China, best solicit for fun. You sky the better cement. Already, I estimate for 6 speed runs was last year February 24th. And you heard them many also for na dinner best this year 24th of March. And unfortunately, Yaraba Ibe ma Ikaldo. Today an estimate I and the 30 bags of cement. Cause the Bay Assemblyman 11 years in the catch you playing the several letters there's and they don't meet our requisition. Aha. Now AEC the police if we be na ya phobia arobano. In fact, you respect the police for the power. Some of them are our friends. Some of them too obetu wawen. Ya mo ba kan yeti because otia wonya kwa na otia edua. Ya wa school na wo pidgin bi ayaka wase opportunity me. Oda wo do adam so modo. Se orobo car robo police yi bi ne ba. Nko be hie chiri no waka che de ye. Ti se sia de ye yu abra ye gudu aye speed ransom. Ye temporary one. Yame Adoma, Yazan Yazre.
Adom FM. Koveje Mesramwa V8 Land Over. Wabo Obi wa Pam Junction Asesia. Omo yimpanewu. Yimpane ofan ebusia yaw. Ogida sprinter. Driver wa Pam Junction Asesia. V8 number GN 3181-17. Waban mo we say sia na speed that car no azeno masa anu ya den wabon na mayimpa do mpe bimbo seka no impa do mpe bi seka no nti e besa mo ya kasa ma ban wate be ya ka cha ban on ba ya speed ramps man kamfo on ba yo aban ye nda car bobi o che car bobi sesa de maza ya nga so betu ya speed ramps ma ye and the catch up by then energy over charge the quad. I say what you are for. They are speed ramps and a man, they are able to brother. And the oboy bra, I don't ever move on to go my Edomasi.
Premotobre Kasee na ugusu a osho Adom TV so me ento so na na cross circuit court e de womo ensem ni nyina ba na wie yefa ekuapem polo ho na no yi o se ne bed na wodanti oja na deja ede echere ne ba no sabre na owo mfinso no ne senti ye tebiri asam no ekoko te ne court hwe mu wie ye no oye se won kodam 90 days Adom TV Kasee etwaso
Emrebi a etwam eye abayewa ne din ene Rosemond Brown a dodo na enim ne din se Ekuapem Polo e de emfonyi bi ebeto abontia na ye ne babema na ye na woda na emfonyi mu na Ekuapem Polo eyi ne hu nyina da e na okoto abofra nanim a woni ne twamfonyi na emfonyi beto abontin no enipa bebre e ne kaseti aye a eye eko ofra won ho child right e de asem no eko aseni bia se wonka asem no esanse e kame aye se eye Ekuapem Polo yi watietia ne babema no fa ahodi so na ene e na asem yi wode ne ka ebe wi ya aseni bia no ahye se eye abayo ne din ene Ekuapem Polo wonfa no nkoto afiase eye abosome miensa se de ebe ya obetimi akosua bibi ewo ho no ebra asemi aseni bia ekotena so na watwemu wo hye se enka wonko hwehwe Ekuapem Polo eho enhwe se nyinse wo honom de ananka asem no waka no foforo nanso wo wie ye na ebeda abonten se Ekuapem Polo enyam ne senti enei wo kyeremu a na owo ahoden se wokweda afiase enti na wahye se wonfa no nkotum eye abosome miensa no wo wieye ene osan etwa sika eto so se Ekuapem Polo entwia na ebra asemi beto abonten ne lawyer ni ekasae.
I'm a bit disappointed anyway.
Considering
the mitigating factors that will be canvassed for her being a first-time offender, young offender, with a lot of responsibility, single mother, taking care of the son and the mother and the nephews. I mean, courts ought to have considered those things. But well, the judge within her sentencing power, a fine in the maximum of 2 years and 90 days. She's within her powers. So we have not really much to say against what she did.
Your client was sobbing all day long. Would you think that you made a good choice for her to be guilty to this particular charge?
Yeah, when we were at the case management conference stage, we evaluated all the evidence against the pictorial evidence and the witness statement. And we realized that we don't have a good case. You know, so when the case goes to a full trial, the sentence will be harsher. Assuming we are going through the whole trial, maybe in 2-3 months we are done, and she's from the culpable.
Now, Akuapem Polo, nay, I don't know, to a fierce young some over social media, yeah, Twitter hard, yeah, and then yeah, what Twitter need one decane, said the officer trending at the end or demo live and colored. Yeah, 1 for BH, one more adjune, sad jail term, no, home, Tino, Oba, Samijan fee, and a decane, ever high, and all can't need the sentence given to Akuapem Polo is very harsh and high-handed. As a Samijan fee, the dear or no so editor, and no Ricky legend, and so the Ebi Abaha. Well, I hope so. Well, we need the other replying to, or no, the reply name no, engrazed, and so dear. Our reply is some so a waha. And you know, but trend in a dear, Akuapem Polo, or no, and a trendy a war, aha. See, I Twitter or no, and a trendy a war. So, what me here said breaking news: Akuapem Polo jailed 90 days. Inti no so at the end, no Rosemont Brown, Akuapem Polo, award-winning actress. Okay, no Akuapem Polo, oko ne Twitter account their war so and no for Kojo at the end. Akuapem Polo with a criminal record just because of birthday shoot. No be every idea will be good idea. Then so ne dear no na KJ say Cardi B's twin sister Akuapem Polo to spend 90 days, 3 months in prison. Ne dear also a day a buy no Palangu Mufasa young OG also dear or say saw this and I kept advising Akuapem Polo from time. But she didn't listen. Look what happened now. Into also a dear far Akuapem Polo. We Twitter the woman for and so Twitter and no KJ Asabaha because it's Akuapem Polo. The law is working, but if it be big man them go pidgin the court 27 years, then everybody go forget the case. Into so dear. Ode aba no tell me say nane de Twitter hono de Akuapem Polo enko a na him e wo ho nti ense wo ebeba officer except for so adwen se nke bia ye man punishment bi opra or esepa aha keno betumi abo nti ho nso ye nya mpanifo a ye no bedi nkomo nenso adom trotro be hye honom nti we ye man nso ho a ne nya no yabatwa so na yabo awura yensem foforo emu Abrantia Patrick Nyako ena se mpanifo bambofo wa sinsuta won finfin mantemu won machire no ni nyina ne centerfo ya won ma me ni honti be ma page na hwe omoma meto ade wa haba wasese nkwadan kuma yi nyina amane ya meka se asinfosu aposifo eyade a yade na tomo pen ena ne wasa akwa ye ne ma bi a etise ye ti yabono kwadu Adom Kasee etwaso
Sadie free asinsuta ewo mfimfin mantem efa Abrantia ne din ene Patrick Nyako ho ebeda edi se eye ntafo nkwada mienu bi wato won monano asemi akwadan asenibe amasisi ada wabua Patrick Nyako fo se won kwada afiase mfiedu na emofrey maame echirema na woni fie ene ode ne ma no eja eye Patrick Nyako se won hwe na chi ema no na ebra oba na nkwadai aye basa we nenam so ema wode wɔn ɛkɔ Francis Xavier Hospital ɛwɔ Asimfusu ɛma adɔkotafo etwa mu sɛ ɛmɔfrɛ obi atɔ wɔn mona ne sɛnti ɛnene wɔde asɛm no ɛkɔ asɛnni bi a ɛyɛ Patrick Nyakonde wabu anefo.
President I can or yes sir.
You can't say. Because it's maybe something now. That's what I can. So you can't say. Oh, Bana.
Na ebra empanyimfo etna asemi so a wobisa Patrick Nyako ensemi hu nsemi bi no woyi anu se yiu emofra no wato wo na ne senti amunum honoma ena otemuafo te asem no eso eka se wonfa Francis Nyako enkoto afiase emfiedu ne senti sesi ada wode ne kwa afiase ewo ankafo ewo Cape Coast.
Premotobre Kasee na uguso shanomento so na aposifo nso concern MPP grassroots a omowa Ablekuma Central Nura day yes or yen central phone share mu de wi akire na bambofo akoho no mo akosai won mo niema won mo ye de enti ema ba sa Adom Kasee ko ho etwaso
sie ekoduru ho no emabunu yi ede sobo no bo aban na mu senior wa Ablekuma Central mensin mu Maria Makale se wono ena ede aposifo efri mamprobi posi asoye eka amabunu bi ho se wono emesai won sem twerefo nhie mu a wono eye no afei so wasa de sobo no bo no se wono ena ye ma enka ne mrahye bedwani Ebeneza Gilbert Nina edi nkuko e wa fempino ene aduonu abatu wonim
ame se Ablekuma Central since Ablekuma Central yenya municipality ya de Mame Mariama Kale amui edi no eba hanom no asumdwe di asumdwe ebi ma Ablekuma Central hanom Mame ni betna yeso no division ko na ba constituency hanom
each president won pabo fight bowo for moto she mame na lekele no ne ba remain here be as MC le gbele ke lagba association president won pabo fight no bowo Raymond to
press conference mo so ankofo se mo bebu ye enu say ya scatter bibia ya ba be pio mo baby fufu say na mo ase nkura yesro say ochina wokoka no asem sisi a ombe organize amanfo ni aba bebu nti media me ka na ne Adom news me ka ne say bibi yam sisi a MC no yem hold no responsible
enwachi ena domfrefo edema concern NPP grassroots of Ablekuma Central Patrick Adom edi aresede eto Ghana mampanyi enim se ma wonyi Maria Makale se ono ene beye aban na musini biem esanse enema bi a wo ye no eyade a ede ohaw ebre amanyoko no
His Excellency Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo and local government minister me ankasa me papa honorable Dam Kwaku Botwe the SN say long pointy obia or whatever obia eye grassroots from yenim no I betimi apeja constituency we esi obiem honorable Dam Botwe and Nanado say on pointy constituency chairman Frank Akwesi Debra na onfane mbeye the MC enfama yen
nanso wasansem we nyina mu no domfrefo a wono ewo abaton pesua no so Ali Dogo so edito Adom Kasee enim se eyampase emabunu no eba amanyoko no asoye se wono mu ebesei nsemtwemfo nhie mu a na wono mu eye no nanso odisobo no bebo enka ne mrahye bedwani Ebeneza Nina nati ene amanyoko ni titere ni Frank Debra ene ne kyerɛkyerɛfo se wono mu ene ehye emabunu ikutupa se wono mu enkase Mame Mariama onye dibre emfri ne nsem.
They should bow their head in the shame. Chairman Deborah Abibem, the former MP, they should bow their head in the shame. They are behind this unlawful and indecent act that they just did. But we will stop them. We'll stop them. We'll stop you. We'll stop them times 10. Because the party, if they say the party is theirs, the party is as well as ours. And they are no more than less.
Association say womu be kosoa no won sa se na bambofo age free won samo no womu nsa ebetumi aka enro ya wo nya ni kokosha ade wo ho eyade se bambofo so womu emma won kwan wo ye kira na wono mo ye ne ade achi ye yeja mo ko ye ne wo maba ye nsentwefo nhie mu se won de huhu bia enye wono mo ehu ma yenko kwaku asante join news amane boni o homa no se ne ne nkomo kwaku awia wuti enka ye mo ha
so
yeah, say youth no almost day.
And so modern can say no idea soldier for no more no money and no cry, you know, and now I'm paying for and I know any land minister Egusia, no my bobo, Temno, not no can say more there. no me be a major massatiano. Omobaji, it's a no motion with Tia, and then when you have the quick placard and a honiama. It's a more share, and then they name a buying bay and share, no my Joe Massatia was the military for ever told you film signal among.
Enti enrane neno nso ensakaya be na abamu.
It's a ensakaya memu ensakaya about development and say land minister no ekushia the chiefs and people of land. Na omo hu se na bia omo di sa asemwe hu dima enti no eno na isia ekoso a omo bomba say minister intervention baba na omo ti aye sare.
Enti kwaku sese America say sansa no military for no gusu na obi ani ho aye din.
Atosene de sisia obi ani so.
Okay. Kwaku me da say ma yane kwaku asante ensi han central for ya la youth association for ye say wo mun sa sene de wo ye de wo mo ebeje no ene yakotie mu bi say land minister ene empanifo ekwakohia na fei wo mama asundie aba me ento Premotobre Kasee no so municipal chief executive no ewola dadekotopon Solomon ni kote ni koi de afutu mamensi no mu akrache empanifo a wo mamu nyina se nei no wono mo ankasa sika no a wono mo agege wa assembly ho bia toto ahodo no wo mo hwe na sika ombenya wo mu no mo fam wo nkro no yentumi entumpon ene wo hwe de wo mo ye wola dadekotopon ho no no a enya aban no nko amo a na mum de wo so gi enyinya firi mu semfaso no ena ode bo Adom Kasee edeba
Abana musini awo la dadekotopon Solomon ni kote edi sanse mwetu joba bra assembly ene la traditional council no eba anan eko la market complex la princess school building association school building ene miami ahodo bi a ekeka ho ochire musa sika wo no mu enya free internal generated fund aye foto no ewo se wo no edeboa edwadifo ma esisi edwa ahodo edema wo no mu se de be ya wo no dwadi awodie no ebekoso face wo saka de to aso se senti a wo no mu ekwa aproboi ene se wo pese na nanama trankonya ene kabie womfo ehunu impuntunyuma wo no mu eye ewo mansine ne mu
sesi ayaba bedu la market uhwe la market a eyefeyie when I took over as MC no na adu pepe so bi na aye standstill but any ding any adwumadin ye de abomode a ye de awie la market fefefe market e si hoyi ye use assembly IGF and a common fund Bibia and free central government, assembly IGF and a common fund. And Timepa a photo midibama other assemblies. Mijidi say Musu yes similar bibi, but the focus should be there.
Enwechi ena ohini awokan la traditional council no ni Oten Mark Grenaki eda abana musini yase so wobeso wo no masene no boa ama mpuntu aba won abato mpesua no eso
kejebe na wole ne ebohe wo moden ni wole sisije de yashi mineke ya fe lokie abafunje no daagbe ntwobie nkele na wiemo ikami gbasa ne ho a no aka kansele mbademo kansele na ebie o hanye fe aheko libo na kanye ba wo eko fale ne nye chano inofia no ajana kan no ehawo kendo ko ya abaye he sitamo yo hi ga yi ga na gbaja no to bole ba no fama ronye fe nye Adom ke yewo ajala ojugba
ni kwakra na Adom Kasee eni dwadifo bi atwetwem komo na nsem sei ena won mu editu dwa
wonda mission wonda la biashi lad mabiye amebo mo amebo mode ame awo o ka me Adom
bia ne nwo jalaye won to wo ke laduma ke government ake show wonda le shujugba ye no ndo fe ha wo yi e ja ka no na fe ha wo je me pi ne na le na kai shi wo draw mo ka ma me wale wo she ni wo she wo ke shida ha ame shi no ko mepe ni ngba wo na ake wo ye toilet ke shamohe ke pipe ke light ke ni bi e sha me gbeleko na ka ni bi a ha ko wo
Premotobre Kasee na wo no Facebook/Adom TV Kasee no wo like na fe wo do comment so agumu yensan ko kwapim polo ne 90 days a wo ko da fiase mu ehɔ na Adom trotro dam teto bia de nani ehwe wo circle ejigana fo bia dwene afasansem no dam te yentio
Yo, if you have me that same as so, and Adom trotro no so yeah, da ba be piemu e wo eye circle na ene yen sebre no asem da ho ne de obi gidi so wa wo hye nyina wunya munim ene se Akuapem Polo ni issue no na eba beka ho asem asem na awie e wo court oma se court se onkonkodam for 3 months ya wa ha se ye pese ne nkofo di nkomo se judgment na ba omo hu ni sen ne kwan so ano no ana se there could have been a better option openi no akwa ba Adom TV so
mejango so
Akuapem Polo ne judgment aba ye se onkodam 3 months hu ni sen
me de me hu se girl no me se no ya Ghana fo hin kakra ana on so si yen ho social media no does too much ka we de ka sentence ndoso ke sere mu se ka judge nka o man be se bia 1 month bia na 1.5 month nka amanfo mfa nso nyansa ba e bia hin nta judge na man sa sentence nti o no mfa nso nyansa next time ko bo o hwe no so yi
yo era so pani so chaji
yo de me kan say Adom TV nyame sham pa na me no tumini de me no me ya kakra because me ebi mutumi be trans social media ni TV so na de dia man pani atem dia man fo atem Ghana fo pani fo a mo nim die papa bi o mutumi die matam o mun na ne ntewe na so Akuapem Polo de kitua we okoy ya se ya man 3 months mesre ka de at least mo ka mo man bia ba bia 5 days bi on go dem 5 days bi na nke man kokko se na be ya youth na eba no o mun be so nyansa na 3 months there too much on ban so why aja tumi se why bone a wa pa ho chew na kedie de ba de pa na obi wa bone ya opem kan bone wa ase bone fache a wa pacho de nke fa na bone nche no be de best Ghana from penifo we den ka at least we de mama na kura nya bia 10 days bi on for them se na be oba bi ma o be so nyansa too much
me da se chawali
me Ghana fo ankasa na ohia ni ba na emladi no Ghana me dwunu ma mentia ha wo ba Ghana na gilafu yi wo bonten ta de tan uhunu kwa na se enya mesom kwa na wo ya adwadwobone tade wo hye ne ntoma nyina ego na nanim nyina akukuru adai empanyifo nyina ehunu so no modi mna bi to se entade bone hye no wa be hu sa wo chatare bone se soja fo na police fo na de wo kwane abo se ya na didi mu nkran nyina timi rebu mu no Akuapem Polo de oye hwe social media ebi dia omufu na egu taba tan so enyo nko na eyo so na so eba asa ne de ye hu nya asa se ne ye jeri we omom di bone Ghana fo mu so modi bone no enye we nko a mo frefre wo mo ade enifu akataka ni mu ayi ade ye de kwanyene panyimfo mo nya na emla omamu amwa mo frente mo ntimi mfle wo mo no
ye da se ye jeli no Akuapem Polo 90 days openi wadwen chere ne sen
2 ash ka bia be 1 month and 2 months bia and I be quite fun na anka yade akabe kaye but you hwe social media no so a ha dwen the way enuanom ma no mema down ho di che ka social media no ka ye business kede ye business na ka ode ye dey odi nya sika gu botom wote ase but se ade akoye che sebi adwamamo ne ma basa odwene ho a wonte ase menim di se ewiase de ba bia ewiase dey efa de bia asofo da wuro asofo etufo se mo sakra madwen yakopon ba still amafo guso a sebi mudi enyambrasem hwe Akuapem Polo de ba sisi odwene ho a wonte ase se akoda ya ne ba oja no akire ene wa ha no wote ase because akola won ode akola kwakoja no so wanya busu papa bi ama hwe akola na tete akola ne ya obeba na akola na sei so ye be se Akuapem Polo omfa wenya de suade pa ye nuanom ma ne mema kametuma bo bebre na din titi social media yi wo ho akire wiase nyina no enye awale na opa tam so a obewale but we akokoye na wonya de hwe aso twen de abrɛw enim guase ade abrɛw no abusua eba sa ye de ha adwenti we de ya de suade a ye nyina fa ye de fa suade okoyi ho social media make sure say emra wo na emra no so mu de a ene sa atwom nkwa na wokɔ
ye da se openi charge
emi ne me da wase wakonya wo da ma me mo se oman na ye wo mu no minua ya empanyifo no ama yamfa ye na si fom a enchirima no entiti ye be ye den pa se si ye enima ye koso wo oman we mu no ye empanyifo ye be srem fom na si fom na judge no wa ya de nyame nhira no ba ema oman nka hwa oman nyi susudua ema enua no ma wo mu akọ social media na o mu da su ba bia emfata adi because oman no ye nimu de se ye na ye empanyifo no start ya nka me giri se titru bia entimi mepiem brabone nse ne ye wo mu a ye be srem te se ne brabone ye mpese be ya yiti ye srem na ye wo enchirima ye tete wo mu tete pa e wo Kristo mu nti no ye be srem se mo mfa we nya example saa de we na mpanyifo na sete no judge no ne ye mpanyifo no mama mane nka hwa mo mane nkoso anya adwuma because social media no ye se emeboa ye ya nya se ememe se ye ene ye nkora aye chirima hwe se obewo ba atete na duru pepe so bi na brabone nse na ye koso akoda wo ni mo hwe na wo panyin a wo nim wo left and right na wo da so aso ba we di e de chi akora no de na pesa akora no enye na akora da achi no send na wo si hu no de mesere ye mpanyimfo ma no nka ho mo ma no nya enko nanim na emukura nya de nche sei na se gya ne sei ya ebedumre bi no o ma we no wan hwe ya edin ebegye no ebeche wi nyame hira wo
yo o sha so ye da se fia wan kwa ene yemre no ha ne ri besi Ghana fa chero madwen afa eye ekua pimpolo ne judgment a eba ye no Midday ye de dam Tobia we ye Adom try we di free eye circle ubesom e o studio efia
yada se papa Adam Tobia Ghana phobia chero won mo adwene na wosansem we ye mu no asepafo kasa de fa ho sanka be ya onya non custodial sentence anka ebeboa ene adobia ne amana dogata mu from achimota to suhu wo dinamu sa ne ma no ke betumi aboa me enko Ura Mensa Thompson ho ye ne nkomo Ura Mensa Thompson anopai awiai wote ye nka ye mo akwaba ye da se papa ede nyina so na mugina mususu sanke ye ma no asotwi bi se yanka ye sense ne ye de no ekwa akotumi na Ghana mrana akra no ye ni sa non custodial sentence no ebiwo
yo good afternoon. I'm in share with you for a levy. Non-custodial sentence, no. I can't want to say my. Into my main concept, I just say if you're a rabano or a public person, and yes, you can court on money non-custodial sentence, baby. A number of the legal regimes they use non-custodial sentencing for petty offenses, petty crimes, misdemeanors, and such offenses are a home impact and same factor say on hardened criminals share another the same prison and they use that critically. And so the come once they will home her and I think the country has lost a very fine opportunity to use the non-custodial sentencing, non-custodial sentencing system, because the prisons are already congested. I think so. Prisons hold conditions and the war crime is so dehumanizing. And certain factors, offenses such as this one, you can say, you know, that fear. Non-custodial center with community service. Community service. Tayakate, Rabanunko, now for a period of 6 months, street whistle, on our trust, this particular street is so for the next 6 months. At the end of the day, the nation benefits from it because you keep the streets clean. I say to more if a rabbi, if you are or social media or no, and I have sentencing on Nam Street. So, aircraft, Obia and any who care. I deal with no coyer, 18 I am no aircraft, a quan. It and also by a share the Yama, Mofranoni, or one
Enti Ura Mensa Thompson, Kafra, learning Tina, Maria Musano. And it says, we no any ho. And now, when so said your walk canon, Kaweno, a baby acquire yet me, I a sanshi share winty. And yet, the way forward in any day, then a more yes, na Suban be and I be at say ye non canon custodial sentence, no, I do more.
Well, no custodial sentence. I have a jurisdiction. I had the framework that will guide the judges to administer non custodial sentence, no, and on any level. You best stress it. In the minimum year, the Chief Justice and the Judicial Council will take a critical look at this. How we can put a framework to help the judges, to train the judges to be able to administer non-custodial sentences. It means not to be covered by Chibetama, yes, uncle that prison, or be covered for do as a coda prison, or be covered upon as a coda prison. We cannot live in a society like that because at the end of the day, you don't want to only punish people, you also want to reform them. What I say, you want to reform them. And the reformation is important because don't go that prison forever. So, 10 years to cry, 10 years never so, back, you will need to be able to reintegrate the person to society, smoothly and effectively without he becoming a burden on society. So we must look at all these things critically. And for me, I think the judgment was too harsh. It was just too harsh. Because at the end of the day, the Rafani were exposing Abofrano all right. Were exposing Abofrano. She crossed the line, we all agree. But the court jailing the mother would rather be exposing Abofrano more than the mammy. Because if you take the child's mother away for 3 months, within that 3 months, what happens to the boy? Has the court told us what measures the state has put in place to be able to cater or fill the gap that is going to be left by the mother? All these things, and I think the Rabano was conducting a way. After incident, she issued a public apology, or pleaded guilty to all 3 counts. It shows you that she's demonstrated enough remorse. It means that the court should have taken all these things into consideration, and also the psychological well-being of Abofrano, which the court is trying to protect in this particular instance, and give her a non-custodial sentence.
Came in say, you better the home come or Sabaya Chief Justice and Penform, but say, Nafe, when so as I am runner, Yadu, so that's a romance at Thompson, so Jabrania Kasee, as Sepa, Ramens at Thompson, and Yateno, and Canona, and then we dear now, your day, Equipem Air Chrono, and then Instagram page, or call up a video, the Chowpa, Amagana for Sada say, Yanko Shevimra.
Hi guys, as you know, this is your one and only sexy polo, Equipem Polo, Rosemont Brown. I just want to use this opportunity to say thanks to all my legends who supported me. I saw the hashtag, especially Regina Stone, Sarkodie Stone Boy, Bridget Otu, Hajia For Real, Akuma Masimbi, DKB. Oh, I can't mention it all, please. I saw all this, all the bloggers who use the platform to support me. I saw the hashtag. I love you. I know you people love me, and I love you too. The bloggers, mommy, those called celebrity. I know you love me. I'm stubborn, but you still show me love. I saw the money you sent, mommy, for my son. We are grateful. Guys, you know your girl is strong. Sometimes in life, you have to pass through some things to make you strong, to get to somewhere. I know it's a test I have to go through. I'm strong. You guys know. Please, all that I need is your prayers and your support. Your girl will be back with you guys. I love you. Thank you, Tunde. Thank you, all my Nigerian celebrities. Thank you, all my Ghana celebrities, all over the world who are supporting me. Yeah, Jackson, I love you, sister. I know you love me. I love everyone who has supported me to this. Your girl loves you. They pay you. Kiss, kiss.
Premotobre Kasee na oguso a wo Adom TV so mami ntwa me homran sam ne doso e beto aso Yamo kwa ba yada se oguso Adom TV Premotobre Kasee na mrasha bedwafo bia wo mo eka parliamentary select committee enum ehu enedi to dwase sehwi so recycling plant no nkabe ya ehu krata nyina no mpanifo ma wo no mo ehunu mu se dachinti ntawantawa bi ba ankofa ha obi amma nananom ne adehye ne mensin na assembly no entem Adom TV edeba
Sasa shiri so integrated recycling and compost plant here wonomo esi mpanifo ehwe kwan se hwe bebo so menum entem de na wonom awie sasa yi wonom awie a ebeboa ama ball ahodo a womanfo eye ewo atoye tifedo mantem nyina wonom adane mu foforo kora e de aye bibia ebesombo e de ama oman no se be ya yebehu se dwumadie yi ekoso nti committee a wonom ewo mrahye bedwamu a wonom ehwe ahonidie mantem ntotoye ene nema a etwa ye ho ahia ene sikasam so aka abomu a wonom ehwe se de dwumadie no esiko ensemwe ana mrahye bedwafo bi edito Adom Kasee enim.
This has been a challenge from a lot of, companies, because they will go and then just talk to the chief. They say, oh, take the land. But there won't be documentation. And when the DC leaves and that the government leaves, another government takes over, then the company begin facing some challenges in terms of land, because the owners of the land and the traditional leadership will say that they did not compensate us. And now they will start. So my brother should do well to make sure that there's proper documentation with regards the land.
Additionally,
thank you.
The adjoining communities to the project, who might not fall within the 100-acre land acquired, will have the adverse effect of the operations of the company, especially with the stench, the air pollution, and then other things. So that must also be factored into the agreement, to the effect that they will also be compensated because of the effect they were experiencing as a result of the production of the company.
And what she and a mensi penny pa, I will about on Pesiano so Luis Uswe Japan, editor just send some who do am Rashibi for Edia to a journey in ano. One more tea of spam, no beshe, so what did Juma.
Some pieces no concern, or I have noted them. Say a idea is a young suggestion. Nemani P, no, send your more ebisayano, yeah, but the advice is that we properly document them. Now, China, Minikokra, Ubia or Bebiano can also lay hand on documents. No, more evidential enough for future, avoid future conflict and misunderstandings.
Zona manager, our Wozum Lion Jumayakuna, any James Banfo, nor the two just say, project here, one A, why you more Hamunchichemo, Edu Watch.
If you see a tumpon, and see a baby bit is metal and answer plastic. Plastic are you who are abontina. And you shall match say, what the plastic shares are, see, a deep fear baby or crampoa, and pro. Then the factory be a baha, send a beer, plastic beer, a bebano. Ye be treaty, not a who abba and faso. Ama says you or so mine.
Yɛtɔ Premotobre Kasee no ɛso na se sei galamsey fo yi sei yensuo ne yakwa ebretu mu no anibra ba nti ene de kokobord fo kra ne de won ho age mu se sei no obo nkasa makasa na nwansa se na ye binom dia ebi mu kra akuafo ene wo mu gya won sa ase ma galamsey fo nti de omo ye ne se okuani a ubegya wasa ase ma galamsey fo amu atu mu no wo ubetua mpatasika ama kokobord fo no mu gidi se omo ye we ya ebeboa na abre galamsey no a age o men ya boso no ase
Said Ghana buying any or so for share or Dumankuma Ejapadi and Sam so Eddie Jumedi be a 2 jar and penny 482 be Kobe a fat galamsey who any quire. Obesi esi ano kwan ewo Ghana ha ene sedie wona wotu fom agudi obeti mi enya enkrata wo de beye sa adwuman wo wi adwumadi open na wo koko border wono na woda quality control and agronomy ano Emmanuel Ajimanjomo e de ensem bi eto Adom Kasee enmu se sedie beye galamsey no obeti mi esi hu kwanti wona wo koko border de emra sese wo de beto ne se eye koko kuani bi obeton na sase ama galamsey fo e de hono ma betu fom agudi no okuani no ebetua sika bi ama kokobord esanse kokobord for ebo akuafo ho kap
already ye bibia ma kokokuani e man extension officers are mo educate wo yesan ma wo inuro chemicals insecticide fungicide di gu kokoko so ye mo fertilizer highly subsidized no so ye ma kuani a odi epitin koko eso ana so odi koko ase enti de ese ye ma kuani bia no kokobord eguso ayeye ma wo so ho na ne ye hu ni say se ne awubusa me no ne mra ye be hihye ni say sa ne o ma nyina ye di kwakoma kuani afesu krai sam mo free seedlings aduaba mo kodua edane kokodua no ni nyina kokobord na di sa ne o ma nyina ma wo so ho enti ne ye hihye se ni say ye sa investment nyina na se kokotu kokoko no gudia ene na ese kwan bi wo ho no mu a nipa na akwakotu ko na gu no otua compensation ma Ghana kokobord enti hihye ya egusu a ye hihye no
Wakase wiye ena oji ahoho ya ojebia otosu mienu opena wada National House of Chief ano edi ensembi eto Adom Kasee enmu se sesi ada esese Ghana ban ebo ne homoden na odi ahemfo ehye galamsey kuni mu sanse eno ene ebetimi awie peye
eda nyame aso yimu bie no kan say yingu small scale mining nimom ne yehwehwe na say ebekoso ne etoso bio efetiti nyina no na nanmo hwehwe say ye na sase wo yen small scale mining anka mo de asase no mancrofo se omuhu omo nye ena ebe hia e nyina gye atum se e wose nananom eka ho ye da ministers so oba be hia nananom wo National House of Chiefs ofi ho obekọ regions ene districts ene ade ye kesi so ye wa yireshim se po bia ya bon ha bia no omo de be ye adwuma
call Western North na Regional Police Command ene ne mema ye dwuma ene motorbikes ahodo be dunso ya yen register ya de won akire ni nyina wo sahwi oso na acting regional police commander DCOP NS Akresi Mensa ena wo kasa na asem nyina se na nsan nipa bonfo adoso wo atoye mantemu finfini mantemu dodoka so na etakrade ne mpotemu na sahwi osofo benbende enti wahwe a ofiri ho na eba ho okada no enso na wo mode bokro no nti ena wo mudi sa dwumen
Posi ejuma iku a wo sehwi so ewo ataye mantemo akwaje motorbikes edunso a wetwe mu se enam se sesi ada ensamone ene ne eboni bi ahyase ekoso ewo Ghana hanom ekankan ene ka so ampotem ho no muntina se dwumadi ene wadie se de ebe ya obetimi ahwehwe sankofo ni mu ahwese nipa bonifo bi efra wo mo a NSK Akresi Mensa ene oye acting regional police commander ewo sehwi so na ebra Adom Kasee ene no akasa fa dwumadi a ene wodi ensembia ode tu dwani
police ni nyina na yedi ewo mayimu nti someone central for my central for mbeboyen na munya bibia anato ho bia bakromu ase na se mu se o in pafoforo bia muma police for ya sonte munyi ya sutire na yanko no so yentunu sisa anato yeni ni ntente na hu se o in paboni ni anato yen paboni ni yakoso yesa ade ne dia yenyira ye ho betoyen na yeda etimi ada
wakase wiye enode ensembi etso ensentrofo nyinada enimu se ensembiara obenya afa nipa bonifo bi ho no aya womoa aposifo no ewo ho se de ebe ya obetimi ede akyesa nkrofo no
awotwini mama te de asi yenuanu mo Western region akromfo ede moto iron license eni moto nam ede ye robbery kaso anso de bia moto robbery na oman no nyina mu moto ene de robbery mana yayi na abesi ya nkasa yin fichire wa Western region no nyanso ya wa ha ye ntra ma no enkoso ma nyesa nti ehu se we sisi wa Western region no ya na ye ho so yenso ya hase se ba bia moto wo bia moto no lances ni ho na se yakọ na yakọche amanfo na ya bi so se moto no omunya ne ya na se de kan na se krono bobi omde bobia no omde bo a ye hu identification number bia ho a even dia ye internet ye statistics exercise we ama enya moto be se edunso
Premotobre Kasee no so na nehia mudie bi akoso ye fa da ubo adwuma ho wo man Ghana mo enam so ma titi ukwase information minister Kojo Ponkro Makoi National Media Commission jomtinani owura ya boadu ya bo afọ won nyina kwase e de sema hodo bi atuja ntiebi
broadcasting space. Should the broadcasting law seek to deal with it or some other legislation be crafted for it? What is the definition of broadcasting? Should it be limited just to radio, television, or now, because of technology, should it be extended to include internet-based or IP-based broadcasting? And should the same standards apply? The current draft of the broadcasting bill deals with what we call community broadcasting. Should this be extended to include what we traditionally call local information centers in our towns and villages? And should the same standards apply there? Should internet-based broadcasters and publishers be registered, just like how publishers of newspapers and other print publications are required to be registered by the National Media Commission? And in the case of online broadcasters, should the NCA be given powers to compel internet service providers to disallow specific URLs for breaches? Should all broadcasters be obliged to moderate audience commentary in the interest of national security, public morality, and the rights and responsibility of others, as provided for in Article 164 of the Constitution? Should the two-tier authorization system proposed under the new broadcasting bill also apply to multiplex operators? Honorable Ministers, distinguished guests, it is for these reasons that we have invited you here today to join us in our final set of deliberations as we prepare to appear before Parliament when it resumes from recess. It's for these reasons that we have invited you to join us as we find common page on which regulators like the NMC and the NCA, the National Security Secretariat, the Bank of Ghana, which is in charge of our currency, and others can collaborate and deal with some of the emerging challenges that are being piped through broadcast platforms. I urge you all to make these discussions open and frank so that we can achieve the best results for our country, and I thank you for joining us.
Beyond that, the other thing also about us is this, that we as a people, and I personally as a person, I have had the privilege of representing the Ghana Journalists Association on both the coalition on the right to information and the broadcasting bill. At a certain point, I think that our minds were so focused on the right to information that we forgot about the broadcasting bill. Because the broadcasting bill has been as long as the right to information law. But thankfully, in 2019, the right to information law was passed. And then that is when people's minds started focusing on the broadcasting bill. Our anticipation, and we had engagement with the Ministry of Information, and we were very hopeful that by the end of 2020, we were going to have a broadcasting law. Unfortunately, it did not happen. And the difficulty and what will be more is the fact that the legal system is such that if Parliament is unable to complete one assignment within a session, it means that it has lapsed. And so the thing has to go through the same process again. We are a country of the rule of law. Now, if that is the system that we have to go through, then it means that every one of us must have an understanding that sometimes we want certain things to be done. Those things may not be possible to be done, and we should not hold anybody liable for the inability to do that because we voted in a referendum to approve the Constitution. So we are all responsible for the things that we do. And that is why we are very thankful that the realization has dawned, that the time has come, that we must have at least a roadmap. We must have some guidelines that will direct us in terms of the broadcasting. And we want to, as much as possible, support the processes that will lead to the passage of this law. And we encourage every other Ghanaian who thinks that the media are relevant, that at least we must talk to our members of Parliament. I mean, the minister has just assured us that when Parliament resumes, is one of the agenda that they are going to place before them. We should let our members of Parliament understand that this is a priority law that we want, and therefore they should make sure that before the end of this year, there will be a broadcasting law. So that when next time we are talking about broadcasting and irregularities and other things, there will be a certainty in measuring. There will be a yardstick for all of us, and it will not be my interpretation as against another person's interpretation, but at least we'll all be at ad idem over that matter. I thank you.
The court thought otherwise, and rightly so. And so it is absolutely critical that we have a broadcasting legislation on which all this would be anchored. The content of that legislation depends on all of you as practitioners. And it is not enough to sit by and watch the process unfold without taking active part and interest in it, and then later criticizing what you had an opportunity to make an input into. So, can't say that what has happened is good, but there's a silver lining to every cloud. If for nothing at all, the imperative of having a set of regulations to guide the content that we produce is now apparent to all of us. And I believe that as men and women of goodwill, we will work together to ensure that we serve our nation well.
Tiye no so na Adom TV Premotobre Kasee no yedi si ha. Midday fia amankwata maklumata kwento akwa ne editor. Priscilla ene director ye obed ni nuaba ni team ni nyanya mishra mo yi akwan se wa nyako yeda mu nyina se ye ko fire for fire ko be stoned etwaso.